Happy Tuesday, Potterheads! Today we're talking about the movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and, well, today I don't think we need a recap because, well, we read the book and we watched the movie, so I think we all know what happens. If this is your first Harry Potter book club video, first of all, welcome. I want to thank you for joining us. Second, I highly suggest you go back and watch all of the other Sorcerer's Stone episodes so that you can catch up before we start Chamber of Secrets. Now back to the movie. I've seen this movie at least like 307 times, just like the rest of you, so I've got some preconceived opinions about it already. But this was the first time I watched the movie with like a close analytical eye. And me, it was exhausting. They made so many small changes, and I was trying to keep track of them all. But first, I want to talk about the changes that they made that I think were completely unnecessary. First, and this has always bothered me, changing the snake from a Brazilian boa constrictor to a Burmese python. Why? I can see no reason to change what kind of snake it was other than maybe they filmed at a real zoo and that real zoo didn't have a boa constrictor. This seemed unlikely to me, so I decided to do some research. This scene was filmed in the actual reptile house at the actual London Zoo. And the zoo's website notes that while the snake used in the film is a Burmese python, this enclosure actually housed their black mamba. So there you go. No need to make this change. Just one of those arbitrary things that happen. Next, it's a purple wax seal, not red. Unnecessary change. At least they kept the green ink. Kind of. I mean, you could barely tell. Whatever. Next, you didn't tell me your father was a seeker. It's because he wasn't. I get it. It's cinematically more impactful, and we haven't really learned Quidditch yet, but it's annoying. James was a chaser, which makes way more sense for his personality, because he's always trying to score. Also, McGonagall was on that plaque. Don't think we missed that, Chris Columbus. Now this one really bugs me. In the book, Hagrid says he got Fluffy from a Greek chappie that he met in the pub. This is an amazing, hilarious choice for J.K. Rowling to make. Fluffy, a three-headed dog, came from a Greek guy, and I think we all know that in Greek mythology, Cerberus is a three-headed dog that guards the gates to the underworld. In the movie, Chris, I make my own choices, Columbus, and Steve, this is my script, Clovis, changed it so that Hagrid got Fluffy from an Irish fellow. Okay, I just did my homework, and it turns out that Steve Clovis did originally write Greek Chappie, and that he doesn't know how it got changed, so sorry, Steve. I take back the mean nickname I gave you. But those are the notable changes that I think are really unnecessary. Let me know if you guys saw any others in the comments. Now let's talk about the more substantial changes. First of which, the fact that they cut almost the entire first chapter. Now I get it, you have to cut things for time, not everything can make it in, but I would have loved to have seen some of Vernon's day before all the magic happens. Then again, I do love that we see Dumbledore doing magic before we've even heard a single line spoken yet. Next, and this one is kind of debatable, Quirrell is wearing a turban the first time that he meets Harry in the Leaky Cauldron in the movie. Now in the book, it's not explicitly stated that Quirrell does not have a turban on the first time that they meet at the Leaky Cauldron. But later, when he gets to Hogwarts, Harry notes that Quirrell is wearing a peculiar turban, and all of the other students are messing with Quirrell for it, suggesting that this is brand new. And we know that Voldemort isn't possessing Quirrell's body the first time that he meets Harry. In the last chapter, Quirrell says that after he failed to steal the stone from Gringotts, Voldemort punished him and felt that he needed to keep a closer eye on Quirrell. So, there you go, Quirrell should not have had the turban on in the Leaky Cauldron because he was not yet possessed by Voldemort. But cinematically, visually, costume-wise, I get it. It's his signature look. Fun fact, did you know David Thewlis, who plays Remus Lupin, was almost cast as Quirrell? Thank goodness he wasn't, but to be fair, he would have been amazing. Next big change, and you guys know I actually really like this one, is that we only see Norbert in the movie once, and the whole ordeal is done in like 5 minutes. I won't go into detail, link to my previous video in the description that I already talked about this, but there is one thing that annoys me. In the movie, Malfoy obviously sees the dragon, Filch knows about the dragon, Dumbledore is the one who sends Norbert to Romania, like, freaking everyone knows about this dragon. How is Hagrid not getting busted for this? Super illegal. Guys, they cut all of the Mars is Bright references. They cut an entire f***ing episode of the book club! Okay, one change that I like for one reason and dislike for another reason is them cutting two of the protections of the stone, the troll and the potions. I dislike this choice, obviously, because I would have loved to have seen Hermione use her intellect to save Harry's ass again. But I do like the change because then, up until the last showdown between Harry and Voldemort, each member of the Golden Trio has their own task to achieve. Fluffy was already asleep, so he doesn't count. Hermione defeats the Devil Snare, Harry uses his flying to catch the key, and Ron wins the chess game. It's balanced so that they each contribute evenly. Also, like, Hermione thinking about a logic puzzle probably wouldn't have played that well on screen. Fun fact, Voldemort still has a nose here. Wonder when he lost that. Now it's time for...
In Defense of Hermione.
In the context of the movie, it is always Ron talking about his opinion of Hermione. Hardly ever does Harry concern himself with Hermione's personality or quirks. Ron is always the one to comment on Hermione. All the spells that Ron tries in the movie, at least the real ones, are ones that he learned from watching Hermione. We see Ron successfully cast Wingardium Leviosa after Hermione taught him, and he tries Alohomora after watching Hermione do it. In the chess game, Ron assigns Hermione to play a castle. Now, a castle is a piece, at least as far as I know, that is usually used to play defensively. He doesn't want to put Hermione in the direct line of attack as an offensive piece. Ron, why are you so obsessed with Hermione? And that's all for
In Defense of Hermione.
It's time to review the movie! As a page-to-screen adaptation, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone succeeds. No major plot points are changed drastically, and the things that are changed are either cut for time, or the sequence of events are changed in order to make things happen faster. Or complete nonsense changes made just to piss us off. Director Chris Columbus perfectly captures the magic and wonder and youth of the first book. He often shoots adult actors from extreme low angles, especially Hagrid for obvious reasons, to remind us of the childlike perspective that we should be taking when we're viewing this movie. He allows space for amazement and lets us revel in the magic of it all. Additionally, he doesn't shy away from the scarier parts, though he does make light of a few tense moments, namely the classic comic relief that is the full-grown mountain troll. He taps into the long-held tradition of allowing children to have the bejesus scared out of them. I mean, tell me you didn't piss your pants the first time you saw Voldemort swoop towards Harry in the forest. That being said, he could afford to shoot fewer close-ups of people's faces, especially when they aren't the ones talking. Go back and watch it. He does it all the time. Ruin the movie for you. A little visual variety, please, Chris. John Williams' genius and iconic score perfectly matches the tone that Columbus strikes with the film. His music is full and soaring when it needs to be, and simple and mysterious when that better serves the story. In this movie, the man responsible for the most iconic musical themes from film scores in the last 50 years strikes gold, again, with Hedwig's theme. No one is surprised at all that John Williams is amazing again. Now, the production design, I think, actually lacks a little bit of magic due to the tendency of the production to shoot on location rather than on constructed sets. Shooting at places like the London Zoo, Alnwick Castle, Oxford University, real places, the movie is often restricted to the very utilitarian building design of older buildings in England. To match this, and I'm sure to keep their CGI budget from exploding, the paintings aren't quite as lifelike, and most of them aren't even actually alive. The colors described in the book, link in the description, are more muted as we transfer from page to screen, except for the house colors. We see this mostly in the costumes. But what makes this movie especially great is the adult cast. This movie and the ones to follow feature some of the finest acting that England has to offer. Richard Harris, Robbie Coltrane, Maggie Smith, Alan Rickman, the list goes on and on. All of this considered, I give Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone 4 out of 5 coral turbans. It's an excellent start to the series and matches up well with an audience that at the time was still comprised of mostly preteens. And that's it for this week's video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow along, please subscribe. And after you subscribe, please make sure you ding that little notification bell that's right there so that you actually know when I upload videos. And please, please, please share this video with everyone you know. And guys, I would love your feedback on what you'd like to see the next time we watch one of these movies. I really had no idea what I was doing when writing this episode, so I just kind of winged it. So yeah, let me know what you want to see in future movie episodes so that I can actually make a good episode. We're going to take a short break in between seasons as I plan for book 2, so no homework! Woo! I will have some content for you guys though, so don't worry. Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery comes out tomorrow, and you best believe I'm going to be recording my gameplay. And that's it! And that's it for Season 1, you guys. We did it! I cannot wait to start reading Chamber of Secrets with you all. We'll start that with Chapter 1 on May 8th, so I will see you guys then. Nox!